everyone, Scapegoat Stephen back with another video match report for Guild Ball. This time trying out the newly errata'd Blacksmiths models into Herder Shepherds. This is Quarantine Ball episode 4. So this time I just wanted to get as many models on the pitch from the Blacksmiths team that had been errata'd as possible. So in the end I went with Captain Ferrite, a big original player of the Ferrite Blacksmiths team when they first came out. Quite enjoyed the goal scoring team. Teams evolved a little since then. So she brings Iron, who hasn't had any erratas. We bring Burnish, who also hasn't had any changes, but we bring Cinder. The first time I think I've put original Cinder in a 12 in a very long time, especially since veteran Cinder came along and was so strong. And then we've also got Burnish and Cast, who again received for Burnish a minor change in the errata, and Cast looks minor on paper but actually is really strong. So here we go with Ferrite Blacksmiths into Herder Shepherds. Enjoy. On the left and Shepherds on the right. So coming down the left you've got Furnace, Iron, Cast who's kicking, Ferrite, Burnish and Cinder. And on the right you've got Ram, Hook and Crook, Shearer, Babe, and then Herder and Lamb down to the bottom of the screen, just in case I kicked off down the bottom. And there we go, that's the kickoff. It goes direction 5, 1 inch, so basically just hits that barrier right there. So it's a nice short kickoff. Means anyone that comes for the ball is going to be at the mercy of Cast. So we've just got some influence spread here. As I said in the introduction, the intention here was to try and play as many of the Blacksmiths that had been errata'd as possible, and then to also get the Shepherds on film again. So Crook is going to sprint. Good little boy that he is. Snapping the ball. Then Hook is also going to sprint. Around that way. And Hook is going to... Crook is going to pass to Hook. Crook is in the aura from Shearer for the football legend, so gets the extra die. We did discuss whether or not there was going to be a come by or away to me scenario, but in the end decided actually, you know what, it's probably better to pass the ball, get the ball safe, so I just can't come in, take it and score. And then Hook is going to pass to Lamb, and Lamb is going to dodge even, off that pass, just to get him and the ball a little bit safer. As you see, not really much chance of me getting to him, or is there? So Iron's going to jog, Iron is going to battering ram Furnace, Ferrite, Burnish and Cinder, just that little bit, just to give them a little bit of threat range extension. Not a huge amount, but it's something. It also means that I didn't need to put any influence on Iron this turn. So Ram is going to just take a look at what Iron's done and go, you know what, I'm better than this. And he's going to use battering ram and push Shearer, Babe forward, Shearer and Babe forward, and then she's going to instruct her big sister Herder to go for a bit of a dodge. And in a second we'll just drop a harvest marker over there so it's closer to Shearer for him to activate his abilities. So Furnace is going to go, he's going to jog and put Tooled Up and One at a Time Lads on Cast. The intention being here that there's Babe and Crook and Shearer all in a circle there, and if we can get in and just start punching them a lot with some nice tasty damage, should do a lot. Unfortunately, there goes Babe. Babe sprinted and away and then placed a harvest marker, aggressive harvest marker as well. Cinder is within 6 of Furnace, so as you see when I last moved Furnace I pulled him within 6 of Cinder, so she's with that trait now, she gets a free attack if she starts the activation within 6, so she's going to sprint across that harvest marker and she can take her free shot on Lamb with her tackling crossbow, which she manages. And then unfortunately she's got a 3/8 kick, but she's not in range of anyone, so she's just going to tap in, pass it to space and then hope for a lucky scatter, or a not terrible scatter, which it isn't. It goes close enough that Burnish can snap it. So Lamb is going to jog and attack Cinder with his 2-inch melee, and he's going to score Oh, sorry, he was on fire from that shot, and then we've cleared the fire to be able to make that jog. Then we'll go with an attack with Lamb, and Lamb is going to score the momentous weak point, just to bring Cinder down to a defense 4 with 0 armor. So Ferrite is going to jog and attack Babe. So we can't get base to base, which is stopping at the extent of the 1. And then we're going to buy an attack. After we use Get Over Here Iron, pulls Iron 4 inches forward, which is better than nothing. So we managed no hits on the first attack on Babe, and then the second attack does a momentous disarm, and the third attack does a momentous weak point. Which doesn't really affect Babe, but it gets the momentum out there. So in goes Herder, and going to jog and attack Cinder, and just score a momentous 3. Then Burnish is going to take the opportunity whilst both Shearer and Crook are there near each other to go drop a fiery AoE on them. So I check as to whether or not he can jog and do it, but in the end I'm going to have to sprint. So I'm going to sprint, and then he's going to use his legendary to drop that AoE. Right there. And I believe he manages, yeah, he hits both of them for the 4 damage and fire. And then he's going to unsnap the ball, sorry, and Furnace is going to snap it. Shearer's going to look at that and decide he doesn't really want to stay there if Cast is going to come in with the 2 damage buffs. Debates whether or not it's worth going in and getting the ball. No, it's not really. It's going to be very difficult to get that ball and not suffer like a knockdown or something on the counter-attack. So he's just going to consume the Harvest Marker to dodge 4. He's then going to clear conditions on himself and jog to engage Cinder. And he's then going to make 3 attacks. He's going to get a momentous 2 on the first attack. Then on his second attack, he's going to get a momentous 3. And then on the third attack, he's going to get a momentous 2. And that leaves Cinder on 3 HP. Which actually sets Cinder up nicely to die at the top of the next turn. There's 3 2-inch melee models engaging her. She's not really long for the pitch. So you've got Cast. Cast is looking at the fact there's only 1 model really that she can get to initially, although Ram is over there and Ram has low defensive stats, so she jogs to engage Crook. She's going to smack Crook, and she does a momentous 2 up to 4 because of both Tooled Up and Burning Passion, and the Guild Ball to throw a shield at Ram for 3 damage. We're going to take the Swifter Strikes, and then we buy another attack, and we get a momentous 2 up to 4 again on Crook even. Momentous Shield Glare, the Ram, and we dodge 2 again to be engaging by 1. We make an attack on Ram, and we do a momentous 4 up to 5 damage and Swifter Strikes, and there's a cat, and he's gone. Then we final attack, we do a momentous 2 up to 3 because of Tooled Up. Ram being defense 2 as well at this stage, and we Swifter Strikes back out of melee with both of those models. So at the end of turn 1, Blacksmiths have 7 momentum, and the Shepherds have 4. So the Blacksmiths are going to play Boot Sponsorship, because we're right next to all this rough ground and we could do with some free gliding, and the Shepherds are going to play Raw Enthusiasm in case I manage to take out a model. So this gets played on Ram, just in case Cast comes in and finishes Ram off, and again, because bringing Ram back on after also giving out the 2 armour is quite strong. So I am going to take initiative as well. You see there's the influence going out, just measuring a couple of bits here and there. Blacksmiths are really difficult to be careful about where you're putting your influence, especially if you can't get an early goal and you're only piloting on 12 influence, or if you get a card in fact where you lose a point of influence. Going down to 11 is really, really tough in Blacksmiths, especially when you want to load those apprentices up. Obviously I haven't put anything on Cinder because I'm expecting her to die really early. So I'm going to jog thanks to a free gliding, and attack Babe with Burnish. He's going to score a momentous knockdown on Babe, and then he's going to throw a Flame Belch at Herder and Shearer, hitting them both for 4 damage and fire effect. Now, I kind of did want to throw it and catch either all 3 of them, but I think I was just out of range. I didn't really want to catch Babe because I don't want to trigger Love Creature. You know, there's enough attack in this team as is. I don't really want to give them any more. So Shearer's then going to go, and he's only got 1 influence. My Seren thought that she'd be able to get a pretty high result when attacking Cinder. Unfortunately, she doesn't roll so well, and we're just going to end up with a momentous 2, which leaves her on 1. He then expends a Harvest Marker to dodge 4 to go engage Ferrite. We then go with Iron, and he's going to jog and attack Shearer, going into the cover being 1 inch away, and just scores a non-momentous knockdown just to set Shearer up for some punching. So Lamb is going to attack Cinder and roll really badly, unfortunately, getting nothing on the first attack, even with a friend, and then on the second attack getting a non-momentous 2 for that takeout. We then completely forget Lamb's Harvest Markers. That takeout, sorry, puts it to 1-2 in favour of the Shepherds, and I believe, does Lamb stay there, or does Lamb actually go for a little bit of a jog? It's the perils of a new team, trying to remember what all their abilities do. So I'm gonna go with Furnace next. Furnace is gonna sprint, so he gets close to cast and can take a shot on the goal. So he's going to sprint to there. He's going to put Tooled Up out on cast, and he's going to take a shot on the goal. Unfortunately, he massively spoons the shot, and the ball pretty much just bounces off the goalpost and is snapped by Ram. Not great. Kind of was hoping that get a goal there. It's not great when you miss I had no momentum, but I was hoping to get the it was a 3 dice shot. Odds on I was going to get it. Never mind. Happens. Ram is going to jog and drop a Harvest Marker. Crook will dodge off the dodge at the end of Ram's movement. Cast is going to go with Tooled Up, and unfortunately is engaged by Ram, so I can't go for Herder without suffering a knockdown. So I'm going to have to just go base to base and start punching Ram. Oh no, go to within 1, sorry. So we start with a momentous 2 up to 3 Guild Ball because of the Tooled Up. For a Shield Glare, which lowers Ram's defense back down to 2. We then get a momentous 2 up to 3 to Shield Throw into Ram, which drops the ball, but drops it within an inch of Ram. So virtually, oh no, sorry, it doesn't drop it within an inch of Ram, drops it just out of an inch of Ram, but close enough that then I can Swifter Strikes to the ball and back again. Then we go with a final momentous 2 up to 3, which leaves Ram on a single health point, and then we dodge out of Ram's melee. So Hook and Crook are going to go next. Hook is just going to howl at cast, and the ball ends up scattering and being snapped by Ram. So, yeah. Hook and Crook are then going to jog, I believe, to engage cast. They are, yep. So Hook is going to make an attack first and do a momentous 2. Crook is then going to do a momentous 2, which I did then also declare a counter attack against, just because I was a little bit worried that I didn't really want to stay there and be a momentum farm. Managed to get a single dodge off that attack, so we back up, and Crook can't attack me, so Crook's going to use Come By or Away to Me, whichever one it is, just to go away from his friend. So Ferrite's going to hit Shearer, being as Shearer's knocked down, and she's going to get a momentous push dodge, and then she's going to get a second attack, and she's going to score a momentous disarm, sorry, non-momentous 3 wrapping to a momentous disarm. And then we're going to just go for a bit of a jog. So she's going to jog, she's going to use gliding as well, and then jog through the fast ground and get over here Iron to pull him closer, and also still leave him engaging. And then she's going to heal cast by 4, just because the weak point in this entire list, as always, are the 2 squishier apprentices. Defense 4, armor 1. Not a great number of hitboxes, like 13 hitboxes I want to say. So they can go down quite fast if they are targeted. So Herder's going to charge Ferrite, who does defensive stance and scores nothing on the charge. Absolutely diddly squat against that 4-2 stat line. Really unfortunate. Then she's going to start buying attacks, and we get a momentous 3, a momentous 2, a non-momentous knockdown, just to make it a little bit easier to smack Ferrite again and set up for sort of the top of the next turn. And here comes the knockdown token. And then final attack is actually going to be a momentous 4, which is pretty good. We were discussing whether or not do you take the non-momentous on my mark and pass the ball to Lamb just to get the ball a little bit safer and off of a defense 2 model. Not that I've got anyone that can get to it, but just in case. But we decided in the end to just whack more damage, do a momentous 4. She then clears conditions on Shearer. I've run out of models to activate. Babe activates and just uses movement to stand up. So Blacksmiths are on 1 momentum going into the next turn. Shepherds are on 4. I'm going to play Punching Bag and put Tough Hide on cast. And my opponent is going to play Pass Out the Orange Slices, which heals everyone. Which obviously does a bit of work getting those people back to full or closer to full. Makes it a lot less easy for cast to kill everyone. And Seren is going to take first activation this turn with the Shepherds. So again, I'm just loading cast because they're unlikely to kill cast this turn, just because of the punching bag and the tough hide means very unlikely. Chances are cast can possibly kill Herder, although it's whether or not before Herder kills Ferrite. But I'm surprised by the choice. But Ram even, Impetus drops a harvest marker and runs away with the ball. Not quite what I was expecting. We're just checking the repositioning of models there after a rogue template went flying. So in comes Furnace. He's going to jog base to base with Herder, and he's going to use his legendary. He's going to tool up cast, and then he's going to buy 2 attacks on Herder. So his first attack just does a single momentous 1, and then his second attack does a momentous double push, just to push her into cast, so I haven't got to worry about any sort of attack on Ferrite. And at the moment cast is a 4-2 with a pretty strong counter attack, so I don't expect to see anything like that happen. So Lamb is going to go next. Lamb is also going to sprint and drop 2 harvest markers. 1 there for Shearer, and then 1 apparently flying off into my deployment zone. Maybe my fans need some food. Cast is going to go. Cast is going to start punching Herder, just because I've got the 2 damage buffs. We're going to score a non-momentous 1 up to 3 on the first attack because I rolled really badly, followed by a non-momentous 2 up to 4 Guild Ball for Shield Glare, followed by a non-momentous 2 up to 4 Guild Ball for a Shield Throw on Herder as well. A bonus time attack scores a momentous 6 up to 8, and takes out Herder. So it's 3-2 in favour of the Shepherds. Herder then, due to her punishment mechanic, allocates everyone up to max influence. I then clear conditions on Ferrite, also as a Swifter Strikes just there, and that's the end of Cast's turn. That was a pretty strong outing, but when you put 2 damage buffs on a model, it's not a surprise really, is it? So Hook is going, or is it Crook, sorry, is going to use the ability to herd Ferrite. Hook and Crook are then going to jog, just so they're both engaging Ferrite. And then start buying attacks. Babe is also engaging Ferrite as well. So Hook attacks Ferrite, does a momentous 2, and then another attack does a momentous 2. So leaves Ferrite on 5. Crook is then going to attack and manages to be the hero we all believe in right now, and score a momentous 3 with a follow-up attack doing a momentous 2, and takes out Ferrite. So that's 3-4 in favour of the Shepherds. Hook then heals Ram, just to get Ram up a bit more health. So Burnish is going to go next. I'll deliberate over who's probably the best person to activate at this stage. do I stall with Cinder, or do I do something with iron first? In the end, I decide to go with Burnish. He's going to jog, take a parting blow from Babe. He's going to jog around the back of iron, and Babe's just going to take a punt, score a non-momentous 1 on Burnish. So, I fiddle with widgets. There we go. And I'm in. So he's going to attack Shearer. He's going to score a non-momentous 1 on the first attack because don't roll the greatest, even with the extra dice from iron. And then we get a momentous knockdown on the second attack. So Shearer's going to go. Shearer's going to clear conditions on himself and then use the harvest marker to dodge 4 because actually he's eyeing up the returned Cinder. Figures that actually he can probably do a lot of reasonable. If you can get that 8 damage into her, I think that kills her. So he's going to dodge for 4 using the harvest marker, and then he's going to go for a jog to engage her. And he's going to buy an attack. She is in cover and a 4-1, so he scores a momentous 2. We bonus time the next attack. It's a non-momentous dodge, and then buy an attack, momentous 2. Bonus time the final attack, and it is also a momentous 2, which leaves Cinder on a single HP. Shearer then heals himself because we actually forgot that he cleared conditions earlier in the turn. That's a shame. That was really close. Shearer there, if you've been able to take out Cinder, would have been an extra 2 points, more momentum, and really good. Iron's going to heal Cinder, battering ram Babe out of the way, and then jog to engage Hook and Crook. He's going to attack Hook, scoring a momentous 2, and then he's going to attack Hook again and score a non-momentous knockdown. Again, setting up the dogs for a takeout, hopefully next turn. Babe's going to go next. Babe is going to use their droppings. We're just discussing a bar ram U. Is it worth attempting a charge? But there's not enough distance there on Babe, so we're going to go with droppings there behind for the dogs. We then go for a jog, and we go for a bar ram U on Cinder, which unfortunately misses on a 2. Speaking of Cinder, she's then just going to go for a jog. She's going to stay in Shearer's melee range and just try and get closer to Furnace for that free ability next turn. Unfortunately, she doesn't get quite close enough, so it does mean I'm going to have to move Furnace closer first. So going into the next turn, Blacksmiths have 4 momentum, Shepherds have 2. Blacksmiths play It to the Crowd, and Shepherds play Risky Play. Unfortunately, I do win the initiative, and Risky Play gets put on cast for that extra +1 attack. And I'm eyeing up this knocked down dog in front of me. Very low health. Can I take out both of them this activation? I'm just getting the influence out, and here comes Herder back on the pitch. And we can see there's still 2 harvest markers out as well. I'm not really sure what the one doing out by my fans is doing, to be honest, but it might be that Sarah forgot to remove it and then take some influence for it. So Cast is going to go. Cast is going to buy an attack on Hook, score a momentous 2 shield glare, wrapping to a non-momentous 1. He's going to do a momentous 2 shield glare and put the shield glare on Crook, wrapping again to the non-momentous 1. She's then going to do a momentous 6. Wrapping to a momentous 2 with a shield throw on Ram, which gets the takeout, takes us to 4-4, dodges into Crook and does another momentous 4. So there's a ton of momentum for the Blacksmiths there. I think I'm up to 7, and we got a point from a takeout of one of the dogs. It does mean that Crook has Littermate, but Crook is engaged by 2 of my models, so it's unlikely to get that free charge. So Lamb is going to activate. It's going to use Warming Oven on Ram, jog and drop their 2 harvest markers. Furnace is going to go. Furnace is going to spend momentum to glide and jog to engage Crook. We'll get a non-momentous 3 wrapping to a momentous 1, which actually takes out Crook. taking it to 5-4 in favour of the Blacksmiths. We then put Tooled up on Iron and we heal Cinder by 4. And crucially, we're back within 6 inches of Cinder for the free attack. Ram is going to go next. Ram is going to put up Impetus. There is a couple of influence on them, it's just hidden behind their base. And put up Impetus and then Sprint. I did ask at this point why Seren didn't go for the goal, and she felt that she was going to try and keep it a little bit safer for the moment and take a shot next turn, rather than give her the opportunity to bring the ball back into play. So Cinder is going to go. She's going to get her free attack with Kindled and uses the crossbow on Ram for the non-momentous tackle, which does succeed, which is unfortunate for her. It takes the ball away again. Again, there's a lot of ways in this team between Cinder and Cass to just dislodge the ball from enemy targets from a distance of 6 inches. It's very good, especially against the lower defence models in the Shepherds. She's then going to bonus time a pass to Iron, jog base to base with Shearer, heal herself by 4, and attack Shearer, scoring a momentous dodge. Shearer's going to go next, and he is going to attack Cinder in an attempt to whittle her health down once again. So he's going to get a little bit unfortunate again. He's going to score a non-momentous dodge on the first attack, and then he's also going to score another non-momentous dodge on the second attack. He's then going to make a third attack, and he's going to score a momentous counterattack, and got scored 2 damage. He's then going to do a momentous 2, as I just said, and he's going to do a final attack with a bonus time and get a momentous 3. He's then going to heal himself by 4. Again, he's just trying to keep himself in the game and alive. He's going to spend that harvest mark that's behind him to dodge 4, basically just to pull him out of Cinder's melee range, but keep her in his melee range. And he's also engaging Ferrite as well at this stage. Ferrite then acrobatics and sprints away, just setting herself up for a next turn legendary. She's in the centre of the team now. Babe is going to charge Cinder, who does defensive stance. Regardless, she still manages a momentous 2 and wrapping to the non-momentous 1. So a strong pig. Then we do discuss whether or not do a push, but actually doing the damage is better. Burnish is just going to jog. Herder is going to heal herself and then go for a sprint. And then we've just got Iron left. So actually Herder's left herself in jog range of Iron, actually, which was not the best move in hindsight. We just have a bit of discussion over the current score, because I misscored one of the dogs as 2 points at some point. She's going to go for a sprint to there. Iron's going to go. He's going to drop the ball in the rough ground, so unsnap the ball in the rough ground, just in front of Ferrite. No one else is going to snap it. He's going to go base to base with Herder and start punching. He's going to do a momentous 2 up to 3 damage because they're tooled up, followed by a momentous 2 up to 3. So we're going to go into the start of the next turn. Blacksmiths on 5 momentum, Shepherds on no momentum. Blacksmiths are going to choose Lock Them Down and put that on Shearer for the -1 attack, and the Shepherds are going to choose Form a Wall, so it's +1 TN to shots on goal, which might cause me trouble in this next turn. We're just getting the allocation out. I do whack a full 5 stack on Ferrite, as she is my captain, and as I've said, she's in the middle of the team, so we are going to be going with a Ferrite legendary. And there you can see Herder is also fully stacked this turn. So dogs both jog back on just to trigger Form a Wall to try and hopefully keep the Shepherds in the game. As you can see, Cinder's pretty much my only player down towards my goal, along with most of the Shepherds team actually after their long flanking manoeuvre. So Ferrite is going to use legendary, hits the entire team. She's going to charge Herder, snapping the ball on the way. Herder does do a defensive stance. We score a momentous knockdown, wrapping to the momentous disarm on Herder. We then go for 2 follow-up attacks, scoring a momentous push dodge both times. So we're just repositioning Herder a tiny bit and just trying to get myself a clear goal shot between the 2 dogs. and Ferrite's going to shoot with a bonus time, and she scores it. So that's 9-4 in favour of the Blacksmiths. The ball's going to get kicked out quite wide down towards the camera. The worry, of course, that the Blacksmiths can just pick it up and score again. So it does scatter 1 inch to the 1. So Hook and Crook are going to go next. Hook is going to sprint and snap the ball, and Crook is going to sprint after. Furnace is going to go. Furnace is just going to jog to go engage the knockdown herder and tool up cast. When I get there, I think I was trying to figure out my best plan, but in the end go with Furnace. So yeah, he just jogs the 5, just clip the rough ground, but it doesn't matter because the legendary sped him up, puts that tooled up on cast, and then just engages herder. Just again, she's at -2 attack because of disarm, so she's now rolling what, 5 dice with 2 crowd out. She's down to 3 dice. There's not really much way, even if she hits all 3 dice, she's getting through the 2 armor on the other models that she can attack. Babe is then going to go. Babe's going to attack Cinder, get a non-momentous 1, and then another attack for a non-momentous 1. Burnish sprints over a harvest marker that I forget to remove and engages Hook. Lamb is going to use Warming Oven on Ram and then jog to engage Cinder because we've got a lot of engagement going on in the bottom corner. Cast is then going to jog base to base with Hook. And going to bonus time an attack, scoring a momentous 2 up to 3 shield glare. Will then bonus time an attack, scoring a momentous 2 up to 3 takeout on Hook. So that's 10-4 in favour of the Blacksmiths. We then use Swifter Strikes and throw the shield glare out on Herder, which puts Herder's defence down to 2 because of the knockdown as well. Ram then goes to engage Cinder, and then Iron's going to make 2 attacks. First bonus timed attack does momentous 7 into Herder. Second bonus time attack, momentous 7, takeout. 12-4 in favour of the Blacksmiths. So 12-4, I think again, as I said during the video, a lot of the leverage there from the Blacksmith's ability to take the ball at distance, at range. I don't think, to be perfectly honest, that was a particularly great 6 for Blacksmiths. I think with Blacksmiths you want to tailor depending on your opponent. Like the 2-2 with Blacksmiths is not as easy as it is with other guilds. You probably want to be swinging wildly towards takeouts or wildly towards goals. So I think actually that particular 6, whilst okay in the end, wasn't great. But then I haven't played Blacksmith in a very long time. It's nice to see the football element of Blacksmiths getting changed in the errata, which I was really happy with. Don't like the grindy play style and the standoffish nature of it that was evident in the previous team, which I like to see the fact they've reduced a little bit. Like, I get it, don't get me wrong, I think it's a valid way to play them. I just personally don't find it interesting, so I'm really glad to see that they changed some of the goal scoring models. So we'll be back at some point with Quarantine Ball episode 5. We haven't yet figured out exactly which guilds we're going to do, whether or not we look again at getting some more Shepherd's content out, or we look at an errata'd guild, or we do a bit of both at the same time. So thanks very much for watching, stay safe, and see you again next time.